What's up, Gunpla modelers? This is Strider Prime. How you guys doing? I'm making a new series of videos based on what I did in my last non-Gundam video, me building that USS The Sullivan ship. And I'm going to start doing a new series called BuildTime with Strider Prime. It's not as creative as what I used to do, but this will be a limited run depending on what kits I have. But basically, BuildTime is just me building any non-Gundam kit or non-robot kit. So I've been building robot kits for years. It's time for me to start building some other stuff that I always want to try. And I'm going to try this kit right now. This is the World of Tanks Rollouts Panzerkampfwagen for Tiger model kit, 1/35th scale. This is from Italeri that I got last year at MosquitoCon, and I've always wanted to build a Tiger tank. Now, I built a Tiger tank a long time ago, which unfortunately got destroyed during, not my move, something else. And I also have, last year I built a little small Tiger tank, the little SD ones. But I wanted to build a full-grown tank, just to, say I have it. And yes, I wanted to build it for a long time. I haven't built a lot of non-Gundam kits for a long time. I built that ship, which came out really well. And I'm hoping to get this done. And maybe if I have time, I'll bring it to MosquitoCon. But I've always wanted to build a tank, and here I am. And I saw this for 15 bucks at the show. And it has a lot of cool things here that I didn't realize. Going back, I remember building my first tank was a monogram tank. It was like a box that went this big. It was just basic parts, put it together. It was all snap fit. It was a Tiger tank at the time, and my first tank was a Tiger. And I was remembering that, and I was like, if I ever find that old model tank, I would definitely like to pick it up and bring it. For nostalgic reasons, build it. So that's why I was looking to get a tank, and I actually had purchased a tank which hasn't arrived yet. But this one was something that I was looking to get, build, and make, hopefully for the show. And if I can't make it for this show, it'll probably be for next show. But I want to do it right. Take all the knowledge that I've learned from me building Gundam and apply it to this, and see how well I can try. Now, this is based off the game, which I haven't downloaded and played yet, and there's some informational things here that I did not know about. For starters, okay, so here is the manual, nice and big manual. There are some custom decals here, which I think this is pretty cool, and probably nice to use this on my on my other kits as well. Look at this. Look at how cool these are. And I know what to choose or what to apply. Instruction, some tools that you need. This is cool information here. And this is the promo card to play the free game, which of course I'm not going to show it to you. There's some codes here, which will allow me to add on. I am not giving you this code because I want to play this game on my PC. Or PS4, depending on how it is. But this entire kit is all charcoal, a dark grayish color tone. Wow, there are all the parts there. Does this come with a link track? Didn't even notice. Huh. Don't even see it. We'll open this up in a minute. And then it comes with its own little glue. I'm going to use this and see how well it applies. So let me clean the table and then we'll... Oh yeah, there's a link track right there. Okay, these are just regular... Okay, well, let me just open it up and then we'll review each of these and see how it is. Alright, so here is the tracks here. The one thing about, there are two types of tracks out there. There is the one, the tracks that is all rubber. That's all, you wrap it around the vehicle and of the tank tracks itself, or you have what's called parts forming tracks. And cool enough, you have it for each side, so that's kind of neat. There's the turret, the ring, the artillery piece. I wonder if it has some detailed stuff inside. We have the main body of the carriage, the top part. Ooh, wow, comes with the engine. So we're going to see some stuff inside the vehicle. And then the final two plates here. Oh wow, you get... Ah! So you got two plates here that are different. Oh wow! So you have solid parts, and then you have parts that have Zimmerman armor. That is kind of neat. Kind of neat, but then what about the turret? Because then you have no Zimmerman armor for the turret as well. Huh. That's interesting to see something like that. It's cool to see that you can make various versions, two versions of this. But then again, it would be nice if there was Zimmerman armor on this for the wraparound. The technique for making Zimmerman armor is not that difficult. All you need to do is take some putty or some I mean, it's kind of hard to not choose what what should I use? Should I use this one? Okay, so now I see Zimmerman or some sort of detail design on the front plate of the turret. Obviously, you have this here. Let me bring this to the camera so you guys can see this more clearly. I'm sorry. So you do have these detailed parts along the side of the tank. Side of the tank? But this, well, you know what? I gotta review the manual anyway. You have the back like that. You have the intake covers that's rounded. You have this part here. So you have all that. But then when you look at this one, you have solid parts. You have a different type of turret. Different type of plate here, different type of plate here. I don't know where these are, so I gotta review that. And instead of rounded covers, you have a square cover. There is some flash here that needs to be cleaned up. Cool little engine parts here. Speaking of the engine, I was looking at this one right here. Look at that. Don't know how well detailed it is. Wow, didn't realize. And check this out, all this. Yeah, for a tank like this at this price, the original price was $50. I got it for 15. And Italeri is a very, very recognizable brand. The brands that I've seen that make a lot of tanks would be, of course, Tamiya. Tamiya makes some great tank builds as well. And it was actually a Tamiya tank that I purchased a long time ago. But the one tank model kits that when I look at it, I'm kind of like saying, oh my god, they really put a lot into it. Is those Dragon kits from Dragon. They put photo etch parts up the wazoo in those. They put like crazy detail that you can pretty much show everything, including interior. But seeing all this is interesting. Let's review the manual. Let's see what I can do with this, because this is easy to build something like this is not a problem. Let's look at the manual. All right, so this is technically, let me see here. The final official German designation for the tank was Panzerkampfwagen for Tank Tiger Ost E, often shortened as just Tiger 1. So this is technically the Tiger 1. Development was started in 1937. and it began production in 42. A total of 1,347 vehicles were manufactured during that run. A little bit of history here. Of course, Italeri is the company making all the World of Warcraft, World of Tanks series, and not only in 1/35th scale, but they're also making, I believe, 1/72nd scale, including like a quick kits with his own glue and paint, so you can actually hand paint it. There's even diorama sets here that you could purchase and sell. Don't know purchase. I mean, no sense. So clearly, this is actually from. Okay, now as I'm reviewing this, these parts were from a previous tank, and then they incorporated onto this new mold for the game. Be nice to use all these, but I think I'll put those away for something, and maybe scratch building and things like that. So it's neat to see something like that. But look how intricate it is to build something like that. Like, something like this is easy to build, but when you have all these little treads, the wheel assembly, the gears, that's a lot of work there. Especially like this. Look at that. You have to lengthen each one to look like that. I remember doing that a long time ago, and I thought I screwed it. I screwed it up many times. I'm going to try to do it justice here, but in one aspect that is cool. In another aspect that it's hard, but the end result is that it'll look like this. And by the way, this is a tank for model building, not a tank for you to go across the table. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. There's a video tutorial for me to view and see how to do this properly. I think I'll review that myself. Nice. It's pretty cool. There's the engine block assembly there. How to put some... Okay. Yeah. Oh, I remember this diagram from the Hasegawa build of my VFOS. You gotta drill holes there. You gotta remember that. And the side plating there. You know what? So I'm kind of going ahead of myself here, because I'm seeing some plates that are going to expose, may cover parts that I'm going to need to paint. But I'm wrong. I'm looking at it how it's supposed to be, and it looks okay for now. I'll figure this out soon enough. Some great illustrations and diagrams here. Look at that. And then of course the tank, turret itself, the cannon assembly. And of course with a turreted tank, you don't have to keep the turret on while you're painting. You can actually remove it and try to paint a little bit around it. And then of course here's the paint guide. Oh my god, I didn't realize you could do all that. So we have the winter camouflage. Winter camouflage number 2. And then we have the desert camouflage. And then desert camouflage number 2. You know what? I'm going to do my own painting guide. I'm going to detail it myself. I'm going to do basic. I don't know what paint to use yet, but we'll figure this out together. Let me just begin assembly of this big boy, and we'll plan. We'll play it by ear. Don't know if I'm going to do it, like that, desert or camouflage like that. I'm just probably going to do, because I'm not good at camouflaging. I want to weather it, so I'm definitely going to do some weathering effects on this and see how it works, and we'll go from there. Okay, so let's build the Tiger 1 tank and see how it comes out. Alright, so first section of the build is basically putting in some of the plates on the Tiger 1 tank. Simple, nothing too crazy. And the glue is pretty nice. It's almost kind of like the same product that you find in Tamiya's extra thin cement. The brush is a little thick, so at one point you would say, ah, it's too thick, but considering this is a tank, and usually tanks, when they were built, there was no such thing as neatness. Well, it's a German tank, but when parts are welded and molded together, you have that little weird roughness look to it in its design, so it's okay. But this part is fine. Now I've removed some of these little thingies here, which I'm going to put on. And there are 8 plus one more that I gotta get. But let me just put these on first. These can go in nice and smooth without you gluing them on, but I'm going to glue them on the other side so they can stay put. There we go. There was a time that I wanted to buy a model kit of a tank that's radio controlled, or at least yeah, radio control or remote control. And I do have one, which I tried out one time, and we'll have to get to that someday. But and I was like, okay, do they make one? And I've seen 1/32 scale ones. I think I've seen the King Tiger. I've seen the Leopard tank, the one that the German Army, modern German Army uses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay, that goes here. But and then I think I've seen the 1/16 scale ones. Those are things that are huge, almost about the same size of this paper. But the amount of parts you're gonna put in is crazy as hell. Yeah. So first thing we need to do is put these on, and I think you gotta put on this. That one goes here. Here. Wait a minute. Wait a sec. I think that one goes there. And that one goes there. And then we have these, which were sandwiched in and glued on. That one goes here. Here. Oops. There. There. And then the last set that goes right there. I'm going to probably end up popping them out and glue them on. There we go. But that's how it looks like under it. Neat. And of course, if this was designed for me to roll, then fine, but it's not going to be that way. I have this part here, which now I just realized I forgot a part to put back here. That goes there. And then this is, of course, the drive shaft that makes the tank go around. And it has a section here that goes like that goes there. But before I do that, I need to put the link tracks. So give me a second and I'll do that right now. These link tracks, you definitely have to sand them down so they look good. And since there are so many, I have to make sure that each one of them are done properly. I'm using this fine sanding stick to do this, to remove the nub that's there at the end, in the middle. You can never be too cautious when you do this. There's also a little bit of leftover flash there, so you definitely got to clean it up a bit. Put that here and here, and then take one and put it like that. So it looks like this. The next one. These things can easily jump from your hand and into La La Land. Paint's not bad. I'm sorry, the glue is not bad. Just needs, it's a little thick. I could switch over to the extra thin cement. I'll probably end up doing that later on to get the little edges in there. But right now I'm going to use this in the thick part to apply it to this. There is also a little little part that goes in here, kind of like a C-ring type thing. But I'm going to do it later on once this thing is dry, and I got to make sure that it's nice and whoops, that's a big drop. Nice and even. Alright, so it's a little drop there. Then we're going to use my pincer here. Grab it in a nice angle. And put it right there. Well, didn't go in properly. It doesn't have to stick out though, just has to stay in there. And this is not quickly dried. The extra added glue should strengthen it as it's drying. Let me just try a little trick here. Yeah. That's much better. And use the hobby knife to put them in. So the one cool thing about this is you don't have to do it on all the links. It's only the front links that makes up the gearbox assembly for the tank treads. The other tank treads has them all molded into it, so it's all the way from from the bottom and the top part of the links all the way to the back as well, which technically doesn't make sense why you're doing that, but fair enough. At least you're not going to go crazy doing something like this. Let me continue on.